We have breaking news coming your way. Stormy skies over southern Arizona. Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen will let you know all the details. Plus, we have team coverage from Yarnell, Arizona, where we are learning more about the 19 fallen firefighters. Stay with us. We have breaking news for you this evening. Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen here. We are tracking storms now moving into the Tucson area. A live look outside showing you those storms on the east side. A look at our radar as these storms are spinning in from the northeast. They're tracking to the southwest pretty quickly. We are seeing some widespread rain up to 3/4 of an inch in some spots, even in the metro area. Strong gusting winds near 30 miles per hour and quite a bit of lightning. We'll have more coming up in weather.
In HD, you're watching KGUN9 on your side. News at 5.
The tragedy at Yarnell Hill, one of the darkest days in Arizona's history. People lining the streets of Phoenix as the bodies of the Granite Mountain hotshots come one step closer to their final resting place. Tonight we are honoring those 19 lives lost, and the entire state is coming together to save a community in danger of more devastation.
The Yarnell fire continues to rage through northern Arizona as a community comes together to mourn the loss of 19 firefighters. I'm Guy Atchley, and I'll have more from Prescott.
All right, Guy, thank you. We do have live team coverage tonight on the ground from Tucson to Prescott, and this is just part of what crews are up against. The fire now at more than 8,300 acres, no containment. 400 firefighters are on the lines in extremely difficult terrain as flags across the country are flying at half-staff today, recognizing that this tragedy is of national proportions. As we mentioned, Guy Atchley is live in Prescott tonight. He has more on the lives lost. Guy?
Jennifer, just a few hours ago, we got the list of 19 firefighters who died in the fire yesterday. We will have that list for you later in the newscast. But first, a little about a couple of the firefighters we've already learned something about. Billowing smoke and broken hearts in Yarnell tonight. They were an elite team of firefighters, the Granite Mountain Hotshots. 19 of them died in the deadliest wildfire in state history.
His goal was to become a professional firefighter.
21-year-old Kevin Wojcik is the son of an L.A. County Fire Department veteran.
He loved to be around people, loved to help people, and he was working towards his dream to become a Los Angeles County Fire Department.
Family also says the blaze took the life of Andrew Ashcraft, who leaves behind 4 young children. The team's part of this online video, taking down trees, preparing for wildfire, protecting the people and property they died working to save.
We're devastated. We just lost 19 of some of the finest people you'll ever meet. I mean, right now we're in crisis.
Fellow firefighters, their families, and a country honoring their sacrifice. Again, we will show you the list of names of the fallen firefighters later in this newscast. We have learned that one of the fallen, 25-year-old Billy Warnicki and his wife Roxanne, were expecting their first child in December. Earlier this afternoon, there was a memorial service that began here in Prescott. It's been going now for more than an hour. Marcelino Benito has been inside listening to what they have to say.
Well, Guy, as you know, we got here into town very early this morning, drove in about 5 a.m., started talking to people out here, and you could definitely tell this was a community that is heartbroken, but a community that is very much resilient. And we got a taste of that just moments ago inside this memorial service. Go ahead and take a listen. That is the sound of clapping you heard there. The audience stood for 5 minutes and just clapped for the firefighters as they walked in. There were tears as they thanked them for their service. You could really see the pain in the faces of firefighters and people alike. The pictures of the fallen were shown during that memorial service, and in perhaps a striking moment in this memorial service, we learned that this was the first time in 10 years that this auditorium had been full, and they said it's a great moment for the city in terms of coming together to honor those firefighters.
On behalf of us as parents who have a son on that fire line right now and who was also on the Dosey fire, I want to express to you my personal appreciation for this incredible sacrifice that you have made.
Now, this was originally supposed to be a town hall event from Representative Gosar's office, but politicians decided to set the politics aside and turn this into a memorial service. Now, people have been crowding into events in this community all day today, and I met one woman at a press conference that was specifically for the media, but the town came out. I met a woman and a man who had special feelings about what happened.
Your heart just hurts.
Hearts across Arizona, across the country, burning with grief.
It's very painful because you know that you're going to know a lot of these people.
That's because in this town, either directly or indirectly, everyone knows one of our fallen heroes. Everyone knows the tragic way they died. Do you consider those 19 heroes?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You're getting teared up. It means that much to you.
Yeah.
They died saving this man's house, saving the homes, the lives of so many others. Selfless sacrifice that brings people to tears.
It's devastating, and at the same time, it creates an urgency to pull together.
A bond that these 19 firefighters had in their final moments. A bond this tragedy will be too much to break as this community works to heal. Now, as Guy mentioned, that memorial service has been going on for more than an hour. I'm about to head back in there, and I will bring you the latest coming up tonight at 6 and 10. Back to you, Guy.
Marcelino, I was watching the people as they walked in. Some grim faces here today.
A lot of grim faces, and you really noticed it on the firefighters' faces when they walked in. You could tell their eyes were swollen, they'd been crying. It's just been a very emotional time for this entire community.
Marcelino, thank you very much. We are going to have more from Prescott later in this newscast, but right now we are going to send it back to you, Jennifer, on this a dark day in northern Arizona.
Guys, such an emotional scene there. Thanks for those reports, and we'll see you a little bit later. It certainly was a heartbreaking scene as the caravan of white vans carrying the bodies of the fallen Granite Mountain hotshots arrived in Phoenix. You can see the American flag there draped up by those two fire truck cranes. All of those white vans passed under the arched ladders of those two fire trucks. Now, the Maricopa County Medical Examiner will begin to perform the autopsies on all 19 firefighters. Yavapai County authorities asked for help because the rural county just didn't have the resources to handle so many casualties. Meanwhile, Governor Jan Brewer talked about the unbearable loss today, herself holding back tears.
To the friends and the family of those lost yesterday, I know we can never fully repay the sacrifices made by your loved ones.
Governor Brewer has signed an order declaring a state of emergency in Yavapai County. Dozens of people have lost their homes in the fire, and tonight hundreds are waiting to see whether they'll have a home to even go back to. Justin Schecker spoke with evacuees at one of their Red Cross shelters in Prescott, and Justin joins us live now with more.
Well, Jennifer, these evacuees, they told me they know the risks and dangers of these unpredictable wildfires, but an evacuation is just something you can never really fully prepare for. Now tonight, close to 60 evacuees are staying at this shelter hosted by the Red Cross at Yavapai Community College. All day long, volunteers made donations to help out with relief efforts. Now, one evacuee from Peoples Valley told me he had his emergency bag packed and was ready to go early Sunday.
I hope it's still standing. I think it is, and sure, I'm worried about property loss, but I'm more concerned about my friends in Yarnell that I know have lost their homes.
Others waited until the last minute as high winds pushed the fire close to their homes.
Where we live off to the west of us, there's a lot of pinyon pines, and I noticed they were going up like Christmas trees.
And with the Yarnell wildfire still raging tonight, there is no timetable for when the evacuees will be allowed to go home or to find out if their homes are still standing. And tonight, these people tell me that their thoughts and prayers go out to the 19 firefighters who lost their lives protecting theirs. Live in Prescott, Justin Shecker, KGUN9 on your side.
Justin, thank you for that perspective. Across the state, Arizonans are on high alert. They are watching and waiting as more storms could be headed our way. Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen is here now with your first warning weather forecast.
Well, Jennifer, storms can be a good thing, but they can also be a bad thing, as sometimes they produce that dry lightning, which sparks more wildfires. We are, however, seeing some rain actually moving in with these storms that are pushing to the southwest. Now starting to see some showers popping up around the Tucson metro area, including at Tucson's airport. But when I switch this over to the lightning tracker, you're seeing all of these strikes within the last 30 minutes. We've had just under 400 strikes. Now, the potential is there for more of this lightning to spark wildfires, but we really, of course, would like those drenching rains, especially over the Catalinas, where we have that fire burning near Windy Point. Our wind gusts from these thunderstorms could top out close to 30 miles per hour. At this point, we're not seeing that materializing here. That's some good news. Just near 20-mile-per-hour gusts in Oracle, Wilcox, and Nogales. A look outside, we are seeing those showers coming down over the Catalinas and those rain showers moving into places like the airport and on the south side of town. We have 103 degrees right now. A stormy, much cooler 7-day forecast that's on the way.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Well, hopefully that rain will help what's going on in our own backyard. We've got the fire on Mount Lemmon that has grown. We go straight to Not On Your Side, Simone Del Rosario now, who's in the newsroom for the latest update there.
The fire has doubled in size since last night. It started with a lightning strike. Now it's a 200-acre flame. Crews have been battling the blaze at Molino Basin for nearly 24 hours. From the air, they have a helicopter dumping water. On the ground, crews are moving closer to the flames. Firefighters are right on the edge, and the Forest Service tells 9 on Your Side that's a good sign. It means they're confident they're getting a handle on the blaze. But right now, it's still only 5% contained. Good news is it's not threatening any structures or homes. Now, as we know, lightning is in the forecast for tonight. The Forest Service says that's not ideal for fire conditions or for the 60 firefighters on the ground. They'll be taking extra precautions tonight to make sure everyone stays safe. Live in the newsroom, I'm Simone Del Rosario, KGUN9 on your side.
All right, Simone, thanks so much. By the way, the Forest Service is asking the public to stay off Catalina Highway until this fire is completely under control. We'll keep you updated on the latest on that as it comes in, and still to come on 9 on Your Side at 5. We are teaming up with our local firefighters to help give back to the Yarnell Hill community suffering from that unbearable loss. Stay with us.
With Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen. You're watching KGUN9 on your side. News at 5.
Arizonans are no strangers to the devastation wildfires can bring to our communities. Not on Your Side is teaming up with local firefighters, filling helmets for heroes. Our Valerie Cavazos takes us to an east side intersection where the donations poured in.
We're just collecting money for the firefighters that lost their lives and their families.
And the donations in forms of cash and coin just kept coming.
Thank you very much.
And coming.
Oh, it's all about helping out. Thank you. Yeah.
Firefighters from Golder Ranch, Drexel Heights, and Corona de Tucson held out helmets and boots at the corners of Wilmot and Speedway, and drivers with heavy hearts filled them quickly. And working alongside them, some of the KGUN9 news crew. Corinne and myself covered the morning hours, and Jennifer stepped in after noontime.
I have some things for you.
Oh, all right.
So there's 5. There's a check for 50.
Radio host J.T. Harris ran around collecting money while Aaron held signs and thanked the generous drivers.
Thank you, sir.
The generosity of the community touched the hearts of these firefighters.
Wow. People have been amazing out here today.
Knowing their efforts will help the families of the fallen firefighters.
Thank you.
Thanks to Valerie. By the way, the money raised so far today has been donated to the 100 Club of Arizona. That organization then sends the money directly to the families affected. By the way, make sure you tune into Good Morning Tucson tomorrow morning. We are going to continue our fundraising effort. Still to come, the monsoon is getting worked up tonight. Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen has the forecast when we return.
With the monsoon, KGUN9 on your side. First warning weather is keeping you safe, keeping you informed first.
Skycam is brought to you by Window World, simply the best for less.
Now, KGUN9 on your side. First warning weather with Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen.
We continue to track the storms moving through southern Arizona this evening. The storms starting off just to our northeast have now shifted even into the metro area. Most of those storm clouds now over the Catalinas and the Rincons starting to spill off into the valley. Also seeing our lightning, though, on our lightning tracker over the last 30 minutes. Quite a few strikes with this system as it moves in. We really are watching for the potential of these lightning strikes to spark any other fires. Some rain is falling, however, from these storms. That is some good news, even at Tucson's airport. The thing that's tricky with these storms, we're getting some gusting winds developing. Now, what you're looking at here, wind speed and direction, you can see the arrows showing where the wind is blowing to. So we've got wind coming from the southwest, from the north, in some cases from the east at all of these different observation sites. That is a telltale sign that these thunderstorms are producing these very erratic gusting winds. Not good for firefighting efforts, by the way. The gusts, however, have not topped out too strong. Near 20 miles per hour in Oracle and Wilcox. Douglas now at 10-mile-per-hour gusts, 18 in the Douglas area. But with these storms rolling through here over the next hour or two, the potential is there for gusting winds near 30 to 40 miles per hour. And those areas that have not seen that soaking rain, blowing dust, reducing visibility on the roads. We give you a live look outside now, and that rain coming down just sort of on the south end, if you will, of the Rincon Mountains there out toward Corona de Tucson, Rita Ranch, Vale area. And this rain, in some cases, dumping a few tenths of an inch up to a quarter of an inch of rain. We've even seen some showers falling now at Tucson's airport. Lots of thunder being heard out there. So that means if you can hear thunder, you're close enough to be struck by lightning. You need to be indoors, okay? Play this one safe. We don't have any watches or warnings posted with our storms yet this afternoon, but that could change in an instant. In fact, all the way through 10 o'clock, we have a 40% chance for thunderstorms, 30% tomorrow morning, and then by this time tomorrow, 40% chance for thunderstorms again, and temperatures topping out near 105 in Tucson. Tomorrow, 106 Marana, 95 for Wilcox, 96 Nogales, 102 in Oro Valley, 104 Green Valley. At least with some of this moisture starting to seep back in and the potential for storms every single day, we are seeing our temperatures come down. 102 is the average this time of year. We'll be closer to that tomorrow with 105, 104 Wednesday for our holiday, 104 and 102 Friday. So temperatures starting to cool off just a touch, at least back down to normal levels, with those off and on chances for rain throughout the afternoon, anywhere from 10 to 30% all the way through our weekend. KGUN9 and your sign at 5 o'clock. We'll be right back.
In HD, you're watching KGUN9 on your side. News at 5.
Tonight, we're learning more about the deadly Yarnell Hill fire and the people we have lost. Wildland firefighters are a close community, and they take it hard when one of their own dies, but a loss of 19, just unbearable. Not on your side's Craig Smith has more on the sacrifice and the sadness.
Wildland firefighters know the heat, danger, and satisfaction of fighting a fire with skill and the pack on their back. Golder Ranch firefighter Robert Russo just could not believe fire could take the Granite Mountain hotshots.
You're talking a top-notch crew.
They were so good, they trained Russo and many other firefighters.
You would think this would never happen to them. This is the last group that it would happen to.
My heart and soul just goes out to all of the other firefighters involved in this situation and the families.
Karen Shunk fought wildfires until she got hurt. Her training included video of firefighters dying.
And then they say, it's your choice. Do you want to leave now?
She didn't. Others didn't, because their urge to serve is stronger than fear.
I was under one firestorm, and it's like a freight train over your head, and all of a sudden everything's black. And you're trained, on what to do. And fortunately, mine was really brief.
Even knowing how fire killed 19 of his friends, Robert Russo is still ready to grab his red bag and answer the call. He knows the danger is part of his life and says his family knows that too. Craig Smith, KGUN9 on your side.
So grateful for their sacrifice. Tucson area fire departments like Golder Ranch and Northwest Fire are sending some of their chiefs to help the Prescott Fire Department handle its day-to-day responsibilities. These heartbreaking pictures from families and friends continue to come in as we learn more about the 19 firefighters killed at Yarnell Hill. We'll have much more from the memorial happening right now in Prescott when we return.
In HD, you're watching KGUN9 on your side. News at 5.
A tribute to the 19 fallen Granite Mountain hotshots in Prescott. Members of the community set up a makeshift memorial in front of the hotshot station. That's Station 7. You can see flowers, balloons, 19 bottles of water down there on the ground, and many other mementos. Tonight, a memorial for the fallen unfolds in Prescott, and our Guy Atchley joins us live now there with more.
Jennifer, we are standing on the campus of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. This is where officials in Prescott decided would be the best place to hold a memorial today for the 19 fallen firefighters. It's taking place in one of the buildings back behind me. Hundreds of people have filled that building, standing room only, as they look at pictures and hear eulogies and testimony from people who knew these firefighters and loved them. Many of them, many families, I'm sure, are here today. We're going to have more on this memorial coming up tonight at 6 and 10.
All right, Guy, thank you. We'll see you then. And, you know, it has just been a difficult day on a lot of fronts. It looked like behind Guy there might have been some storm clouds. I know we're seeing some storms move in our way as well.
Yeah, we're starting to see the monsoon really flaring up, and some rain would help firefighting efforts most definitely. And we give you a look outside now. Now, I have the camera at this point pointed to the south. We're hearing a lot of thunder. We can hear it even within the building here on the east side of town. And so these storms are starting to move around, but boy, I tell you what, we really need the rain, and that is moving through over the next hour or two. Watch for those showers. Near 30 miles per hour and quite a bit of lightning. We'll have more coming up in weather.
In HD, you're watching KGUN9 on your side. News at 5.
The tragedy at Yarnell Hill, one of the darkest days in Arizona's history. People lining the streets of Phoenix as the bodies of the Granite Mountain hotshots come one step closer to their final resting place. Tonight we are honoring those 19 lives lost, and the entire state is coming together to save a community in danger of more devastation.
The Yarnell fire continues to rage.
We have breaking news coming your way. Stormy skies over southern Arizona. Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen will let you know all the details. Plus, we have team coverage from Yarnell, Arizona, where we are learning more about the 19 fallen firefighters. Stay with us.
Through northern Arizona as a community comes together to mourn the loss of 19 firefighters. I'm Guy Atchley, and I'll have more from that from Prescott.
All right, Guy, thank you. We do have live team coverage tonight on the ground from Tucson to Prescott, and this is just part of what crews are up against. The fire now at more than 8,300 acres, no containment. 400 firefighters are on the lines in extremely difficult terrain as flags across the country are flying at half-staff today, recognizing that this tragedy is of national proportions. As we mentioned, Guy Atchley is live in Prescott tonight. He has more on the lives lost. Guy?
Jennifer, just a few hours ago, we got the list of 19 firefighters who died in the fire yesterday. We will have that list for you later in the newscast. But first, a little about a couple of the firefighters we've already learned something about. Billowing smoke and broken hearts in Yarnell tonight. They were an elite team of firefighters, the Granite Mountain Hotshots. 19 of them died in the deadliest wildfire in state history.
His goal was to become a professional firefighter.
21-year-old Kevin Wojcik is the son of an L.A. County Fire Department.
We have breaking news for you this evening. Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen here. We are tracking storms now moving into the Tucson area. A live look outside showing you those storms on the east side. A look at our radar as these storms are spinning in from the northeast. They're tracking to the southwest pretty quickly. We are seeing some widespread rain up to 3/4 of an inch in some spots, even in the metro area. Strong gusting winds